S6 Coyote is an American airplane by Randy Schlitter of Rans Designs. It first appeared in 1988 as a development of the single-seat S5. The S6 was very successful, certainly one of the most produced in its category. It was offered as a kit or as a factory-built aircraft. The unit we're looking at today is a kit version manufactured in Kansas, USA and assembled in Brazil in 1995. It's an S6 ES for extended span, one of the 3 different wing configurations available for the S6. Its wings span 34.5 feet, 10.5 meters, and it's 20 feet long, 6.1 meters. The Coyote is normally equipped with engines ranging from 50 to 100 horsepower. This unit is equipped with a 912 UL Rotax engine developing 80 horses. On this installation there is a big automotive radiator mounted atop the engine and louvers on the upper part of the cowling that direct the airflow downward through the radiator. On the cowling there are also 2 inspection doors, one for checking the coolant level and one through which you can access the oil dipstick. The prop on this airplane is a 3-bladed warp drive carbon fiber unit. Okay, now let's get inside. The cockpit is relatively roomy for its category. A 6-footer still has good headroom even with the headphones. Legroom is not a problem either. You fly with the left hand when seated on the left side seat, and your right hand easily reaches the throttle, which, in this case, is a vernier type, which we at Fly&Tell happen to like very much on Rotax-powered airplanes. Flaps are mechanically actuated through a bar between the seats. There are 3 positions other than flaps up. It's a simple, direct system, virtually maintenance-free. There's a neat baggage compartment behind the seats. It's not big, but it isn't small either. It's a useful area and it's easily accessible. All S6s have 18 gallons, 68 liters of fuel on the wings, 9 each side, 34 liters each side. This one has the optional 10-gallon, 37-liter auxiliary tank behind the baggage compartment. You drain the tanks by opening this valve under the seats, and fuel will start pouring from a hose attached to the left gear leg. There's also a drain valve on the gascolator. Okay then, clear prop! The airplane structure is welded steel tubing with aluminum alloy spars and tail cone, covered with dope and fabric. The nose wheel steering is linked to the pedals, so taxiing is as easy as it gets. We run the engine ground checks. And adjust trim for takeoff. The trim is electric on this unit, placed close to the throttle. Everything works. Let's go fly. This was a fairly warm day, but the Coyote didn't seem to care. We calculated around 600 feet, 180 meters for takeoff. And that with a pair of 200 pounders and 3 hours of fuel on board. Climb was done at full throttle, maintaining between 60 and 70 miles per hour, keeping an eye on the oil temperature, which never got too hot for comfort. This shot of the panel during climb shows it better. It was warm and the thermals were doing their thing of bouncing us a bit, but that 700 feet per minute at 70 miles per hour is a good display of our average climb performance on that day. We leveled off at 4,500 feet and set the engine to 4,800 RPM. Although the ride wasn't a lot smoother at that altitude, this picture is a good representation of the average performance we got on cruise. We were indicating 94 miles per hour at 4,500 feet with a QNH of 1011 HPA or 2985 inches of mercury, and a temperature at that altitude of 26 Celsius, 79 Fahrenheit. The E6B says we were truing at 104 mph, or 90 knots. That while burning 15 liters an hour, 3.9 gallons an hour. Not the fastest, but who flies a Coyote to go fast? The Coyote is a sightseeing airplane that can also take you places if you're not in a terrible hurry. It's an airplane built to be flown, and to be flown using your feet, that is. Since it's not quite stable in yaw, meaning its directional stability is not great. You need rudder for turning, rudder for exiting turns, rudder to counteract the effect of turbulence, rudder to make you go straight, rudder to correct your rudder corrections. A pilot used to flying jets would notice that right away. But after a while you get used to this, which is not so much a problem, it's more like a peculiarity, remoting to little airplanes of the 40s and 50s. The S6 is a rag and tube airplane with huge high wings. It is a relatively modern machine, but the experience of flying it has a lot in common with what you'd get from a post-war design. I once read somewhere that the Coyote is very easy to fly, but not very easy to fly well. I agree with that. Let's fly a circuit together. Good speed is 60 to 70 miles an hour in this bumpy atmosphere. Low speed flying is easy. The airplane is stable in pitch. We did not stall it on this flight, but in previous instances we have, and the Coyote is very well behaved throughout the stall as long as you keep the ball centered. If not, a wing will drop gently, and then you easily recover with rudder and a slight release of back pressure on the yoke. The Rans S6 Coyote is a generous little airplane. It's relatively inexpensive, it's roomy, almost comfortable, it's easy to fly and fun to fly well. Even your pragmatic side might like it too, for it's an efficient machine doing 90 knots on 80 horses. Some may not find it particularly pretty, but it offers you the beauty of simple flying. A pair of wings that will take you up to the sky. And since you, like us, are an earthly creature, that is a big deal. Thank you for watching this Fly&Tell flight review. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to our channel, and thank you very much. On our next episode, we'll show you another aircraft, then we'll fly it and tell you all about it.